Hey YouTube, welcome to the EV Vault. I'm back for another rip and rant today. And we're just gonna get right into this. This, in my opinion, is the second best sword and shield set if you're trying to get EVs and evolutions. So hopefully I can add something to the vault today. Maybe have something worth sending to grading. Trying to get that Umbreon would be awesome. And let's see what promo I get. Be real. Yeah. Let's open for the Mewtwo. So let's just go ahead and crack into these packs real quick. And I'm still working on being used to talking on the camera, or just talking to nobody really, and doing stuff at the same time. So hopefully that gets better with practice, and I can also put some money into like a camera, and the quality will get a little better. Ultra Ball. Code card. Alright, pack 2. And I did have more of these, but now I'm down to 1 left after this. So, not the best investment if you're just going to open it. But I did get them cheaper than what I would have. And everybody knows Sword and Shield is, the pull rates are kind of tough. So would not be the first time I've opened one of these and gotten nothing but hollows. Hey, full art. Not bad. Got a sleeve. That guy is kind of, it's okay. Decent centering. Collapse Stadium, that used to be a thing. Sneasel, Turtwig, Piplup, Shroomish, Throw, Pot Helmet, and a non-hollow. Oh, backwards E-Star. So, Pound Town there. Not even a regular Eevee. Alright, so getting into today's video past the rip, we're going to talk about the market. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to be one of those boring chart guys up and down and speculating. I mean, you kind of need to do that, at least for the sealed. You know, if you want to be successful nowadays, you kind of have to do the sealed and the singles. I got some sealed stuff, and you know, originally I was trying to do it kind of as like a 90s, early 2000s, just all the good stuff from then, you know, Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist, Pokemon. I've been wanting to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! And other stuff, but you know, budget is limited, so I kind of just, I'm honing back in on Pokemon. I would do Full Metal Alchemist over Inuyasha. I mean, you got Kingdom Hearts cards, you got Bleach cards. There are a lot of cool TCGs out there that really are kind of dead, but you know, there's still markets for them. And you know, if I had more money, I would definitely add to my inventories. But that brings me to, what type of business do you want to be? You know, obviously you have to do the sealed product if you want to really get ahead. And I mean, that's long-term investing, or you can do short-term margins, which, you know, really you should be doing both and building into each other. And also the singles help supplement that if you're going to open stuff. Even the bulk, you know, you can do bulk lots, which I'll probably be doing soon because I do have quite a bit of bulk. But moving forward, I'm going to play into my niche. You know, this is supposed to be the EV Vault, so I'm going to be building positions into that. Um, you're supposed to, successful business is supposed to be able to fill a demand. And, just a year ago, you could go on eBay and find, PSA 9, PSA 10, reverse card, reverse EV, evolutions, and they were, decently priced. Uh, I mean, there are crazy EVs going on right now, so that's, it is what it is. But you can kind of target bids, and sometimes you'll get lucky, or you can just buy stuff outright, or switch to Japanese and get stuff cheaper that way if you just want the art. That's kind of stupid argument between English and Japanese. It's pretty much the same stuff. Like, yeah, better quality, you'll get more gem rate there, but just whatever you want, really. I don't think it matters. Whichever market gets too crazy, it'll leverage into the other one. So they'll always coincide. And it's kind of just a stupid argument. Really, do both. Pokey Any would recommend both. So, Pokey Plumber. A lot of people do Japanese and just other languages. So, it's not a big deal. But moving forward, I kind of want to just do Eevee stuff, evolutions, and I'll probably be downsizing my current singles into doing that, and that'll kind of be my niche, on top of the sealed investing and the margins. And eBay is kind of dead. I don't suggest selling sealed stuff on eBay unless you get it at a good price, and then you can kind of make up for the fees and everything. It seems to be the play to go through YouTube and just do lives, and then through your lives you can link your website and all that good stuff. So I'm building up towards that and just building inventory. That's kind of what you have to do, and time in the market will help to do that. So, and I've been in and out since the late 90s, early 2000s. So I've always been around, but never really business oriented until now. And I still have a full-time job. This isn't like, I don't need this to happen. It's kind of just, this is my hobby, and try to make a little money on it and pick the stuff that I like, and fill demand in those segments of the market. It's not a bad thing to do on top of doing the sealed. But you can always go back and see the older evolution cards, and they've always been popular. They're always expensive. If you go through the sets, like this stuff here, the reverse cards on this set are just crazy. As far as English is concerned, this in the reverse card, it's one of the more expensive EV cards you can get. And then the Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon in reverse as well. Pretty expensive. And you can barely find them on the market anyway. Really. And that's the same with the other vintage at, first edition or unlimited. Trying to find good copies of them for non-outrageous prices, it's very hard. So, kind of to start doing it with the modern stuff, and eventually you'll have crazy positions, and you just focus on one aspect at a time. And that's kind of what my plan is. And that's, yeah, so everybody, they jump and they chase whatever's hot, and yeah, there's money in that, but it's boring. It's so boring to look at charts and try to keep in touch with what everybody else is doing. And I agree with Alex here when he says we're not trying to compete to be the best investors or the best business. Well, I mean, you kind of have to compete to be a good business, but you don't have to be the best, and you can kind of, you know, do what's more fun, because people are trying to make this into serious businesses where it's not fun to do anymore. It's just another job, and that kind of defeats the purpose, in my opinion. You know, I have a full-time job. I do my 40 hours, sometimes more, and it's very labor intensive. So I'm grateful that there's something on the side that I enjoy, have always enjoyed since a kid, that I can do and supplement income and, supplement my own collection. And that, I think that's a good goal. You don't have to be out here stonk dogging and doing all this crazy buyout crap. And it's one thing when so like with the buyouts, like if I were to do my business model where, I want large inventories of like just the reverse EVs so that I could grade the nicer ones, or just keep constant inventories of them available through my site. It's one thing to buy all those out and then create some crazy margin when you know, it's not organic, or it's inorganic demand for those items. It's not a very ethical thing to do. And businesses kind of gotta throw ethics out the door sometimes if you really want to make money. But like I said, it's not life or death for me. So I can afford to choose what ethics I like, and moving forward, hopefully any customers that I do get will appreciate that. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking towards. Maybe down the road, after I establish that and I get more money going through my field, which, let's see here. Bring you guys down here. So yeah, I got some sealed stuff. And it's not, a crazy amount. I don't have a distributor or anything. I either break down stuff, or Poke Center, or TCG Player, eBay, whatever cheap price I can find at the time, and I get it. And some things are better than others. A little more exclusive, harder to find. So yeah, I'm thinking of selling some stuff to get a good camera, or maybe I'll save up and try to make that happen soon. But yeah, these sealed products, they go through periods of, not being liquid, or can't get enough of them, but it's the safest play, I think. And it's kind of just, you look at the set list as early as you can, and you make your decisions. And even when Evolving Skies was 100 a booster box, I I knew that was going to be the set, and at the time I didn't really have the money to do much about it. And I'm kind of in a better position now. So, these would probably be a margin play, maybe keep one or two. I got 5 of them, and I was going to open one of these instead, but they don't really have any evolutions. They got one reverse Eevee, and that's the one I was talking about earlier. It was supposed to be for this set, not Brilliant Stars, but you have good Eevees in Brilliant Stars, so that would be the second best out of Sword and Shield for someone like me. Then you got some more 151 solid set, and that makes 3 of those guys. Surging Sparks booster box, got that before the jump. Got the good old Crowd Zenith Pokemon Center Elite. That's very nice. Got some booster boxes. I was able to pick up before the craziness. Fusion Strike. We got Silver Tempest in here. Brilliant Stars. This is the Silver Tempest then. This tape is crazy. Oh, one-handed, whatever. Just fold you over. Silver Tempest. Did that fall over? It fell over. This is why we use bubble wrap. Scarlet Violet Base. Got that before that blew up. Thankfully. So sometimes, you know, you pick things up and good things happen. And that's kind of just the name of the game. But you gotta start somewhere, right? So we'll put this back here. Try to keep it nice, you know. And then we'll put the Astral right there. And the 151. We'll do like this. Scarlet Violet, Stellar Crown, some more Surging Sparks, and we've got, wish I could get more into this, but it's expensive and it's hard to find and it's not very liquid, you know, but that's the thing about dead TCGs and nostalgia, I guess. And you got Pokemon Center Elite. Very good pickup. That's gonna jump. That's kind of mid, but it is still Brilliant Stars. The 151 Premium Collection. That's crazy up right now. I still think that's got room to grow. So pretty much everything in here is, it's still incubating. And then I got a Charizard UPC under there. I'm not gonna pull all that out. That's pretty much all there is to it, you know. Slowly build positions. Really, I should have more, but I've always been more of a collector than an investor. As you can see. Cards for days. That's what I mean by bulk lots. Do instant collections or something. Got Sword and Shield. That's 151 in starters. So pretty much all the vintage cards and modern artwork. Working on that box. Sun and Moon Bolt. I got some Scarlet Violet bulk, and these are like legendaries, mythics. Got Pikachu stuff in here. Supposed to go in here. And this is what I'm looking to target into for my singles business. It's just Eevee cards. Evolutions. I like to keep my Umbreons, my Espeons, and my Glaceons, but you know, Sylveons and all that stuff, I'll probably let go more frequently. And, oof, I was hoping to grade some of those, but they're mostly TCG player buyouts. Well, not really buyouts, you know, I just picked up a good amount and then clear the market, and then try to charge double, triple for them. So they've been sitting here for a while. And I need to go through them and see if I can send any of them for grading, or put the copies I don't really want up for sale. So that'll be a thing coming soon. And there's just tons of evolutions in both of these. bunch of different cards that I'll go through eventually and see what happens. But I also have, you know, binders and stuff full of it. Kind of doing, trying to organize. I've got freaking collection paralysis. Takes forever to get stuff done. All the different binders. Got a bunch of different stuff going. Different ways to collect, you know. Still trying to do that like 90s, late 2000s, late 2000s vibe stuff with the store. But it's kind of hard to keep sourcing, and a lot of it's not liquid, you know. Stuff is cool, but it's not liquid unless you fire sale it. And I'm not doing that, so. That's pretty much where I'm at, and that will be the move for me. Not really too many people doing craziness right now, you know. Yeah. Nothing kind of like what I have in mind. So I think, is it a great idea? No. But it's something that I can see myself enjoy doing over time. So let's see. And you can kind of see Umbreon cards are good luck right now. It might get a price adjustment. I wouldn't, for some of them, maybe not all of them. You know, you gotta go to data for that, like pull rates and print quality and all that good stuff. Which is why, you know, there's always the controversy of loose cards or cards and binders versus PSA slabs. And for me, it's, you know, a lot of people say grading is a scam. But you don't have to buy the 10s, you know, you can buy 9s. They're just as affordable as near mint copies. A lot of times they're better than the near mint copies. Like if you go to TCG Player and you try to buy near mint copies, you're gonna get some bullshit cards. Unless it's like a really good seller, you know. And you can build those relationships and find the good sellers, but sometimes it does happen, you know, they go through thousands of cards. You get a card that, you know, you don't really agree with the condition. And it was like that for a long time. Even when I was collecting base set and jungle, like 2016, 2015, I was buying off a collector's cache. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. You know, I just knew I wanted Pokemon cards again, and I had money for them. So I was building, you know, base set, jungle, and buying single cards, and they were pretty well affordable, but it's at the same time, you're going to get questionable quality. You know, you'll pay for near mint pricing, and that's a lot of stores. They won't sell at moderate play or heavy play pricing. They'll sell, well, maybe moderate play, but they won't sell at heavy play. So because they've got to make their margins on the sales, or they'll force you to buy like X amount of bulk. If you can't just go in there and buy one card, and that's mainly because of taxes and other stuff, I imagine. But you can do that online, and that's what's it's kind of nice. You just gotta figure out how to do it. Like I said, eBay is not really a good way to sell singles, and I've been trying to get through TCG Player, but I guess I gotta call them or do something and get my account up, because I know a lot of people that actually play, they'll buy singles from here, and then the people that collect, they'll go here, or if they're trying to do graded plays, they'll go here to look at cards, because you're not going to get views on the eBay listing without a picture. So it's, I don't understand why TCG Player isn't doing more of that. Like if I wanted to buy this card, for example, I mean, look how many of these places with crazy ratings. I'm not picking on you, you're just at the top, dude. Crazy ratings and no picture. At least he's like, oh, heavy play. So that's kind of cool. That's probably a good seller then. But like this guy, it might be moderate play, it might be light play, he might be accurate, you know, starting out, trying to be honest and get repeat customers. But that's just what it is, you know, it's a freaking gamble. And yeah, you can go all filters and 2 listings with photos. I mean, that's crazy, man. Only 2 people decided, oh, I'm going to do with photos. You should kind of make it a requirement, I think. There's really not many of these on the market anyway. 32. Well, 30 and 2 of them have pictures, rather. And that's another thing. These guys charging top prices. They don't even have pictures. That's wild to me. But people, at least when they're trying to build decks, so you know they probably wouldn't be getting a card like this. So it's kind of a bad comparison, but you get the point. And leaning into sealed EV products, you know, will probably be a move that I'm interested in. Only like ETBs, and I don't know how I feel about the surprise box, but ETBs, any booster bundles where the set has it. That's kind of already the plays that have been made, but I'm just gonna keep it going, even if there's a market correction or whatever. So I don't think these cards will be that price forever. Maybe the Pokemon Center exclusive one, but not the ETB one, not this. Maybe that, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's already coming down. And there probably will be a reprint of Twilight, so it might come down to 60. But again, you're gonna come into this market thinking, okay, well, I'll just buy a near mint copy and then I'll grade it, and it's not gonna work that way. Like most of these are gonna be duds because these are all people that think the same way. So you're gonna look at this and you're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna have to come to eBay and look through those, and then maybe you'll get lucky, someone won't get it, which will end up paying top dollar if it's at auction. And then maybe you'll get lucky. I doubt it though. Like 85 best offer. This guy's already looked at this and he knows it won't grade. Me too. Might be a print line somewhere. Oh, on that German edition. That's why it's cheap. Hate how you have to, like, more often now because the other languages are blowing up. You always have to filter out English. Didn't used to be like that. Shots fired. Alright. 90 or best offer. And we already saw, you know, where was it? It's going down, so market price about 88 bucks, 87 bucks. And he's got to pay, of course, the 13.65% eBay fee when he sells this, so he's not going to get C90, you know, and then he's got to pay, he's got free shipping. Nah, he's going to make you pay for the shipping because he's already at a tight margin anyway, unless you pick this card up for like 40 or $50. And it looks pretty well centered, except for that. That would probably get you a 9 with the new standards. Oh, for sure. Yeah, so, he already knows. It's not worth it to send. Yeah, you get a 9 or an 8, maybe. You're still not even getting to what's on the surface. Just need white light. Needs to be in person under white light for you to even try to make that distinction. So, very risky. I think it's easier to do as the set's coming out. So, that's probably, all these are just ones that they know they can't grade. And you can probably go through here for like an hour, or do it once an hour a day, and maybe you'll get lucky here and there. Take a bet, take a chance on one. But I'd rather do it with stuff like this and this, the smaller stuff, the promos, because then you'll get volume, and that's kind of what I'm after. Because I'm going to be on margin, and so is everybody else for the most part right now, because you can't really buy stuff for cheaper and make your $5 or $10 or whatever, unless it's sealed, and then you feel like a dummy when it goes up in a week and people are paying scalper prices. So, or MSRP, which isn't a big deal. I just, I don't think the reprint's going to really make a difference on anything. Maybe a little bit. You get a 20% retrace, but that only matters when you're, going heavy into it. You buy a bunch. Someone like me who gets 1 or 2 things here and there, it's not a big deal, And singles aren't very safe, but I'd rather deal with both. Maybe I'll get to a point where it'll just be sealed. I really don't want that big of a business. So everybody who thinks people that have been in the hobby for so long, they all just want to be big businesses and make all the money and screw everybody over, and that's not true. People want to make a little bit of money and make their collection better, and I'm not thinking I'm going to strike it rich off this. So that's pretty much it. That's a genuine market talk there from someone who does this daily and just kind of rants. And I did do that with a little bit of charting. We looked at some charts. I don't think it's smart to do 3 months, but because then you can kind of see. Yeah, that's about the price it should be. And this was all speculation. This was the real price. This was speculation. This was the buyouts. And this is people offloading the buyouts. So, I like when people try to use these charts as like, oh, this is what the price is for real. Like, no, you're not taking into consideration all the factors. All the buyouts, all the people that are just in here for money. This doesn't determine what it's going to be in 5 years. Once it becomes vintage, sure. And, we go through 5 to 10 year period of time where these aren't readily available on the market anymore in good condition, because that's where the real value comes from. That's why the PSA 10 has a premium. Because I remember a time, like I was saying earlier, where you could pay top dollar and 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't get a good card unless you knew exactly what you were doing. There weren't all these established markets like there are today. eBay was still up, sure, but even back then nobody pulled a big card like this and was like, oh, and put it in the sleeve and put it in the top loader and cared for it. A lot of vintage stuff was handled by kids or stored away for years. And people used to just throw cards on the tables. That's why there's lower pop reports. lower printing runs too, but still, people didn't treat this stuff like freaking gold when it got into their hands. That wasn't a thing until like 2017, 2018. Maybe with like the crazier, rarer stuff before that, but yeah. So condition plays a big part. And I still think this card, somewhere around in this range, it'll probably retrace if there's a big reprint. Even if there's not, there's time. There's only so many people who are going to be interested in this card for organic demand. And then there will be people who speculate and buy multiple copies of this card to make margins. And then there will be more people who will buy this card in hopes to grade it to get that big PSA 10 margin. So, it takes time. And there's plenty of these cards. Plenty of these cards. But they're going to be pricey. At least for another year or two. Probably longer, I don't know. It's a crazy market right now. A lot of hype. A lot of content creators steadily pushing hype. So there's also, there's equal amount of people just leaving right now, which that might be the play that these bigger people are doing. They're hiking stuff up so high. People want to leave, and then you get to the point where, like when I was a teenager, things were pennies on the dollar. And they could go in like Warren Buffett and buy it all up. So you got to pay attention, even if you're just having fun. And that's kind of just a rant. Ranted.